Can you hear me? Okay. I don't have to hold it.
You don't have to hold you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Craig Simmelmeyer, and I'm one of the partners in the Castro Valley Marketplace. And we are very pleased that you're all here today to participate in our grand opening. As some of you may know, we've been open for some time, and we actually opened in a soft opening in the middle of the pandemic on July 10th, 1 year ago today. Okay? But although we have had tremendous success with the essential businesses operating here, the most important part of what we do is community and a gathering place for you all to enjoy and to love and participate in with these merchants. So today is the beginning of the party that we want to share with the community for years to come. I want to thank you all for coming today. I have the pleasure of introducing my dear partner, Donna Leyburn, who I brought here 3 years ago and said, let's do this. And she said, we could do this. And if she knew the journey, she might have said no. But I've got to tell you, as we have been knocked down, kicked, and gotten back up, I could not have asked for someone more inspirational that took every challenge and said, we can do this. And I am inspired by my partner, Donna Leyburn, to get here and do great things for you every day. I want to introduce Donna to share with you
Donna.
Community.
Woo! Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the GO, the big grand opening that was late. It's the 1 year anniversary of our coming out party, and it's been a long time coming. And just look at what this is. It's a beautiful building. From the adaptive reuse of the Daughtry's department store and the legacy it leaves to this incredible project. And where is it? It's in the downtown area, the big downtown area of Castro Valley. So we thank you all for this invitation to do this. So in this building, everything from the handmade incredible light fixtures you're going to see around and the artwork that's inside about those, the mosaic panels that were done by Rita Safridis. This is all a celebration of the love of food. And it's luscious food, it's healthy food. It's from people who are passionate about bringing you only good food. From the healthy soil that's grown in to the fishermen and the farmers and all the people that gather this so that we can be here to give it to you. On the rooftop, just a second, I'll talk about something quickly. COVID brought us to something that is good and something that was incredibly hard. COVID made it incredibly difficult for us to open and be here. But some of the things we learned during COVID were interesting, and that is that we all have a new connection to food. We were cooking in our homes. We had sourdough starter. We were telling neighbors about recipes. There is a connection of food that we miss if we don't get involved in food in a different way. And COVID did that for us. So for all the other stuff, COVID made a difference. And now we are 10 plus independent owner-operator businesses. That's really special. They're all owner-operated businesses waiting to have you learn and experience and share the joy we all feel all the time about food. It's been quite the construction journey, so we can't have today without acknowledging a little bit about this. So a lot of you know that we have beehives on the roof. We have hives on Lake Chabot Road, and we have some in the neighborhoods of people here in Castro Valley. And we have that for sale inside if you would like to buy Castro Valley Harvest of honey. But why I'm bringing this up, because the bees offer us an incredible analogy of how this became what it is today. So did you know that a honeybee can tap 2 million flowers and fly 50,000 miles to produce 1 pound of honey? So once again, that's 2 million flowers, 50,000 miles. This project took more than 2 million taps or interactions with people, and Craig probably walked through this building for 50,000 miles and 12 pairs of shoes over the past 3 years, 7 days a week, to bring this project to all of us, this amazing project. So thank you, Craig. So like the bees, it's taken thousands of interactions with people here to make this happen for one beautiful building. And in the very beginning, there was Eileen Dalton and Supervisor Nate Miley and the Mac board folks, and they took a chance to buy this building. And then they encircled it with this great parking lot. And all of this waiting for the vision to happen. And then came Craig, winning. He was the winning plan. He was joined then by myself and Sadish and Edward and Sandy, forming the primary group of owners here. We sat in this cold building for months upon months, always planning, meeting, visioning. And this guy, this Ken Carboni guy that you see around here, he was always here with a camera, taking pictures and documenting this. And you'll see the fruits of those labors up on all these screens inside the building as you walk around, about telling our story. And then there was the money. You have to go to all your friends and relatives first. So a lot of them are here today, and we can't thank them enough for being there for us. And then there was Fremont Bank. Talk about a bank that is a community local bank standing up for a project like this. We are so grateful and appreciative to Alex Cole and his board of directors and all those folks for making this happen for us. And from it all, it came incredible partnerships, rounding out our village of supporters with Alan Tam from Planning and Building, our terrific Inspector Arnold. We never would have made it without having that relationship. And Tyler, Environmental Health Department, Ho Kwan. And it wouldn't have happened at all in the way it happened or in the time it happened without Eileen Dalton and Susan McHugh. So I don't know where they are, but these ladies sat with us every week and listened to Craig once a week, every week for months and months and months and months to make this project happen. There were challenges, as Craig mentioned, obstacles to overcome, working through everything, mastering things we'd never wanted to think were part of our daily life in construction instead of doing our jobs. Moments that tested our fortitude, shook us to the core. The shedding of a lot of tears sometimes, and pulling ourselves up. But what I can tell you is this next phrase is very important. The barriers didn't stand a chance against the vision and the purpose of this project. The barriers didn't stand a chance against the vision and the purpose of this project. So I heard a phrase that was just kind of incredible the other day. It was, these are the things you need to be successful. You need a backbone, you need a wishbone, and you need a funny bone. And we got all of that, and then the funny bone Craig did, so he was the funny bone. So who would have thought you had to master all these terms? I'm just gonna share them with you in all these new processes. There were challenges in the basement that brought us environmental challenges. We had to learn about waterproofing and Drago wrap and Zypex and Retrocoat and ejector pumps and VCR lifts and elevators and fire retardant fabrics. And who would have known the importance of screw inspections? If you've never done this, maybe that isn't funny, but it is funny to us. Every inspection was a screw inspection. So the journey of the construction with the support of those million interactions has come to an end. And the exciting opening of this new building is the beginning for this community and for all of us to be with you. The current 10 businesses, the classrooms and event spaces upstairs waiting to be filled. There are cheese classes with Nicole from Farm Curious that are happening tomorrow. And if you know, the cook school has been here for weeks and will be here for more weeks, teaching children from 4 to 8 every day, 20 of them how to cook and cut and take home great food for their families. And the beauty of that is we didn't even know they were in the building most of the time. They're so engaged in what they're doing. So there are some really impressive numbers now. And one is that there's over 150 employees working in this building now. 150. And in the past 12 months, even before the 12 months began, there were all of these employees and team members that worked together to do everything you can imagine, from stocking shelves and ordering and cleaning the floors and all of this stuff that went on. And why did we do this? Why did we all do this? Well, we did this for the pleasure of feeding you all. It's all about food, and we're here to, acknowledge that. So I don't want you to walk away today without knowing what's inside. So if you haven't been enough inside, you can't miss the basement with Cordial Bottle Shop, Stacy and Simon. And if you haven't heard about things like orange wine or purple gin, you need to go down and talk to these folks because they're fascinating. Oaktown Spice, you can't walk into the spice shop without saying what everybody says. Oh, it smells so good. And if you're not buying right now a spice, let's see if I can do this properly, sashimi togahashi. If that's not the spice that you're cooking with yet, you might want to consider it after meeting them. But start with the 3 kinds of cinnamon they sell. It's fascinating. Then there's Fora Nueva. If you haven't been inside, Nate has the freshest balsamic vinegars and oils from around the world, and he wants you to taste them and try them. What fun. Then you can join the crowds and the lines at Seven Hills, where Julian has currently added his apricot raspberry scones. And only on Tuesdays, the Queen of Ron. If you haven't heard of it, you better show up on Tuesday. Carol at Akemi, she'll wow us with Toro tuna belly. It melts in your mouth. And the other day in her shop was the entire tuna being prepared for this sushi. Then there's Cannery. They will complement this music. They complement all the music that a lot of the music is put on by them with burgers and beers. And many of their beers, fascinatingly enough, are from women-owned breweries. CV Natural, Randy, Nate, Robin, Aaron, Dottie, Cy, Quinn, Camilla, and all the folks that work here, they're just dying to show you that we carry 14 kinds of mushrooms and 18 varieties of apples, 100 artisanal cheeses, and products on the shelves from tons of local producers, producing everything from kimchi to personal care products and facials. So don't be shy. Come inside. You have to walk out with Castro Valley honey, hopefully. But no party, no grand opening would be done properly without an explanation point. And next Saturday from 10:30 to 11:30, our exclamation point for this entire grand opening. And we are honored to say that Maze Daiko, hope I'm pronouncing that properly, from Rhythmix Cultural Works in Alameda, is going to, right out here, do one of the most amazing world music ensembles, taking Japanese taiko with West African drums. And if you haven't heard of them, look them up because it's going to be fun as anything right here next Saturday. So thanks for being here. This was an incredible ceremony. You know, when we talk about hard work and all the things I mentioned, the one person that has not been acknowledged yet is Sharon Semmelmeyer. In all of these years, Sharon has been, she's married to him, by the way. Sharon has been this stalwart woman in the office all the time, trying to keep in track of everything and make this happen. So to Sharon and all my partners and everyone here that has helped us make this possible, let's get on to the really good stuff. Let's cut this ribbon and open them doors. Woo!
So we thought about how do we program this to do something really special for all of you. And we decided to make this the hottest grand opening in Castro Valley history. And so I hope you're all appreciating the Castro Valley heat today, because it is hot and we really appreciate you being here to share with us. The good news is we have some great presentations for you, and then we get to go and cool off a little bit. But I want to remind everybody that many years ago, this building was built by the Daughtry family. And this was a beloved Castro Valley business for decades. And through the changes of economy and department store business and evolution, they sold their business. And unfortunately, for the acquiring party, the trends and winds weren't favorable to continue the business. The business is so beloved that people refer to this as the Daughtry's building. But many, because it's been so long, many of you have never been in the Daughtry's department store. We did an event that was Farewell Daughtry's, and then Welcome Castro Valley Marketplace. And I was so touched as former employees brought their name badges. Customers returned with their credit cards. And they got to share their stories of their purchase of their Boy Scout uniform, their first prom dress, and the memories of how special a place this was. And I had heard about Daughtry's, but on that day, the business came to life. And I was able to see the clerk working in the gift wrap section in the basement. And the cosmetics counter came to life. And all of the people that were there, and it meant so much. So, again, many of you don't know or never got the chance to be in Daughtry's. We are just so proud to work to create something special for you that we hope will be as special as Daughtry's was in its glory. And I know Ernie Daughtry is here today. I want to thank you for being here today. Thank you for building this beautiful building for us to repurpose, to make work and be retail today. I hope you're proud of what we've done. We're really proud to be able to take and share the history of what you built and make it special for decades into the future. Thank you. Thank you. So you may see throughout the building there are a number of elements being reused. A lot of the plywood shelving from the layaway or the shelving has been repurposed and reused through the building. Much of that trim, we're trying to find purposes and places for everything. And we're hoping that you all get a chance to pay a visit to the Lab 200 space. We're fortunate to receive a 1940s telephone booth from the old crayons, and that is our Castro Valley history and homage to the Daughtry's that is in process of these beautiful historical photos and elements that you'll be able to share. And the Daughtry's history will live on here up in the Lab 200 space for years to come. I was supposed to tell a few puns, but I forgot them. And I apologize because they were really good, some of my best material. But I want to introduce to you Eileen Dalton, who I called a little over 3 years ago today and said, I think we could do something with your building. And she said, someone would love my building? I'd like to talk to you. And I was so thrilled because when I came out and looked at this, I said, if. And Eileen said, we're doing that, we're doing that, we're doing that, we're doing that. We can do it, we can do it, we can do it. And we have been fortunate to have a great partner in Alameda County. Eileen and her department have shepherded us through all the minefields, all the challenges to make this project happen. And I want to thank you, Eileen, for everything you've done to make Castro Valley Marketplace a reality. You've been a great partner. Thank you. Eileen Dalton.
Thanks. Thank you, Craig. Hi, everybody. I'm Eileen Dalton. I work for Alameda County for the Community Development Agency. I'm here on behalf of the Economic Development Department, and also Chris Bays, our director, who couldn't be here. But really, the story of this project for the county is these amazing partnerships and vision, leadership, and the community. And I just want to acknowledge some really important folks who made this project possible. I mean, it really started with the community. Everything that the county does in our department is based on the community's vision. We believe in the community process. I met Ken Carboni 24 years ago because he was involved on a community commission, and that has continued. And it's because of those local voices that gave us the direction and the power to implement them that made projects like this possible. It really started with having an active redevelopment agency where we bought this building. We didn't know quite what we were going to do with it. I had Ken 20-something years ago say, hey, there's a chain behind the Daughtry's building. You can't drive between the two buildings. Let's get rid of that. So we started thinking about shared parking, and this project came from that. We've invested in the streetscape in the Castro Valley Boulevard. And then ultimately this public investment led to this major private investment, and that fateful call from Craig Semmelmeyer, who said, hey, I saw that the other developer walked away, and I'm interested in your building, but Craig always had a few conditions. That driveway between the buildings really needs to go, and this is where you're sitting, in an old driveway. There's a stop sign, you all remember kind of driving through here quick, and I said, hey, good news, we designed that. It's being built. Get on board, let's get on board. So I want to thank a few folks for their partnership and their vision. I want to especially thank the economic development staff, Lane Bailey, Jamie Orfanos, Kristen Peralt, and two special women who, amazing, and I'm honored to have worked with. One is retired and one is still with me. Marita Harelick, who's here, who retired some time ago and lived in Castro Valley, put this parking lot project together, and it was a labor of love, I think. And Susan McHugh, who doesn't like to be acknowledged ever, but Susan is behind a notebook pad. But if you anything that happens, Susan is behind it with energy, positivity, and a notepad and excellent notes. And she does the work of 10 people. She blows me away. And Lane and Kristen and Jamie round out our small but mighty team in a little county. There's some really crucial folks in the community in our county partners that Donna already mentioned. They were really crucial to getting this project going forward. But most importantly, we all we're in public service, and it's hard to be creative and flexible because we're in a government setting and we have rules and procurement, and we have to go to a board of supervisors. It's your elected body that governs this community. And I've had the pleasure to work with Supervisor Nate Miley for most of my time working for Alameda County. And I've worked in county government for 33 years. And I've never worked for and with somebody like Nate Miley. I've never seen an elected official work harder for their constituents. I've never worked with an elected official that listened more intently to what his staff and county partners had to say. And I never doubted that if we needed help, he would be there to push things through, because ultimately everything we do has to go to the MAC. Thank you, Mark Crawford, Sheila Kuna, and Ted Ritchie for taking out tons of time to work on this project for the MAC. We have to go to the Planning Commission, Mark Crawford on the Planning Commission now. But really, ultimately, our board has to make huge multi-million-dollar decisions and investment decisions on projects that we dream about. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Supervisor Nate Miley, who made all our dreams come true.
Well, thank you, Eileen, for those nice complimentary remarks. Mark had me, she told me I was tearing up over there, saying all those glamorous and glorious things. But yeah, this is unimaginable. In our dreams, we couldn't have imagined something like this. I know Mark and I were talking. How many of you remember the Daughtry's building? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Yeah, this is really fantastic. And there were a lot of struggles, over the years. I've been the county supervisor here since 2000, and I mean, we've had a lot of struggles trying to deal with this particular property. There was a lot of naysayers in terms of what should be done. At one point, people wanted to put a billiard hall here. Said, no, we're not doing that. There were other projects and other proposals, and Eileen, who heads up our former redevelopment agency, she was always keeping tabs on this with our Citizens Advisory Committee for Redevelopment when we had it in existence. And, we had redevelopment prior to it being ended, and I'm not going to go down that road again because redevelopment should have never ended because we were doing good projects out here in the unincorporated area with redevelopment dollars. But nonetheless, persevered. And as Eileen pointed out, I've been very fortunate to have appointed some really good folks to the Castro Valley Municipal Advisory Council, which really takes on the responsibility to give the Board of Supervisors advice on what should happen here in Castro Valley. Mark Crawford over there was the chair of the Castro Valley Municipal Advisory Council. Mark, raise your hand. Mark over there, Mark Crawford. He's a business owner out here. Ken Carboni. Ken's around here somewhere. Where's Ken? Where's Ken? There's Ken right there. Ken's the chair now, but Ken was on the planning commission. I've worked with Ken since I've been a county supervisor. Ken helped to deliver Trader Joe's. That was one of the very first projects we worked on back in the early 2000s, Trader Joe's, and Ken's a business owner, and we're still pushing hard to make things happen. And to see this is just fantastic. They've given me some prepared remarks, so let me try to make sure I get to these remarks before I stray too much. We're here to celebrate the transformation of the Daughtry's building into the Castro Valley Marketplace. Also, we're here to celebrate the successful public-private partnership. The Castro Valley Marketplace development is the last chapter in the former redevelopment agency's efforts to positively transform this blighted building. The Castro Valley Marketplace met all the county's goals for redevelopment of the former Daughtry's building, which were offer new, unique, and high-quality restaurants, food, and retail options. A catalyst project, attract new customers, shoppers, and diners to downtown Castro Valley. Activate the Paseo with outdoor dining. Deliver a transformative design and outstanding architecture. All of that was achieved. If you take a look around, it is clear that the Castro Valley Marketplace met all of the county's goals. This public-private partnership led to the private investment of over $10 million. I want to thank Craig and his team, and we worked hard with them, and any obstacles they came up with, we tried to make sure those barriers were removed. When COVID hit us about a year ago, we made sure that the marketplace was considered an essential service so that it could operate, be open, and it had a soft opening, but now it's the official opening today. So I want to thank Craig and his team for their investment here, working with us to make this Castro Valley Marketplace a success. The Castro Valley Marketplace would not have been possible without a community-driven vision that started with Ken over there and Dave Knutson. Where's Dave? Is Dave here today? In spirit, right, that's right, Dave did pass away. But the Knutson's right next door here. We really took Dave and Ken working with Craig to make this happen. The shared parking and things of that nature was really, really important. And as I said, I want to thank the Castro Valley MAC, especially 3 members of the Castro Valley MAC who served on the Castro Valley Marketplace Subcommittee. Sheila Cunha, who's a business person here in Castro Valley, Ted Ritchie, who's since moved away but was on the MAC, and also a business person, and Mark Crawford. I want to thank Craig once again for his commitment and investment in Castro Valley. Craig transformed Lafayette, so we're transforming Castro Valley. I'm not saying we want to make Castro Valley Lafayette, but if that's what you like, we're going to keep walking down that road with Craig and Ken, because they're looking to do something at the Flying A service and the Castro Valley Lumber as well, to do some other projects there. So, I represent Oakland, this area, and Pleasanton, and by far, this is a remarkable achievement. I always tell folks I like to come to openings because everybody's happy and joyous. There's no criticism, and hopefully there's no criticism today in terms of what this project has produced here in Castro Valley. It's a destination point. I hear there's music here on Fridays and Saturdays. I hear it's packed. I hear it's going well. This is just really, really fantastic. And as I said, we could not have imagined this in our fondest dreams. Could not have imagined this. So I'm very thankful to represent Castro Valley over the last couple of decades. And let's just say, we could say the best is yet to come, but it's going to be hard to top this. So thank you all.
All right, who wants to hear some more speeches? Who wants to hear about a ribbon cutting and opening this building up and sharing this? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for making this your new favorite place. And thank you for sharing it with your neighbors. The very special businesses that are here appreciate all your support, and you are greatly appreciated. We're proud to be here for you. Welcome to the Castro Valley Marketplace. We're going to do a ribbon cutting in front of these doors and stage that. And I know there's a pair of scissors, so be careful you don't get poked. They're pretty good size. While we're waiting for them to set up, I want to share with you just my first interaction with Mark Crawford. We went to an interview, and Mark pulled me aside after the interview. He said, if you get selected, you better make sure that I can't recognize the building. I don't want to do just a little lipstick. You have to do something truly special. My dear friend Sadish Mahindra happened to hear that. And so he worked tirelessly to create the design and the impact here that met Mark's standards. And I hope, Mark, you feel like we've achieved that goal. Sadish worked tirelessly to make that happen, and we hope you all enjoy the results. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. That's good encouragement. You can do it.
No, Kristen.
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kevin.
Sorry. Smile. I want to see it. How about Ken? Craig!
He's doing business.
All right, I know. We can't help ourselves. All right, good. Perfect. Smile.